Most designers are afraid to use the pen tool because they think it's too complicated and too advanced. But today I'm going to show you how simple the pen tool is. You ready?
Nice.
Let's get right to it. Alright, so do you know that you can make a selection with the pen tool? Yes, you can select your subject with the pen tool just like the polygonal lasso tool, and I'm going to show you. So let's head over to file, and then we are going to click on open, and we are going to select our subject. So we're going to click on this and we click on open. So this is our subject, and we are going to make a selection, or we are going to select this subject using the pen tool, not the polygonal lasso tool. So what we are going to do now is we are going to unlock this layer over here, and we are going to zoom in a little bit. And of course, we are going to select the pen tool, not the polygonal lasso tool. So when you press P on your keyboard, it's going to select the pen tool. That is the shortcut for selecting the pen tool. And you can also go to the tools section and select the pen tool manually from there. So when you press P on your keyboard, it's going to change to the pen tool, as you can see over here. So this is how the pen tool looks like. And you can also go to the tools section over here. So we are going to look for the pen tool. All right, this is the pen tool. We right click on it, and we are going to get different types of pen tool. So we have the pen tool, we have the freeform pen tool, the curvature pen tool, the add anchor, delete anchor point tool, and the convert point tool. But for the purpose of this study or this video, we are going to use the pen tool. And when you master the pen tool very well, you'll be able to use all these pen tool. And what we are going to do now is we are going to select the pen tool, of course, and we are going to make sure that we select part over here. And the reason why we are selecting part is we want to create a part around the subject, or we want to make a selection around the subject using the part. But when you select the shape, it means that you want to create shapes directly with the pen tool. So as you draw or as you create your point, it's going to create a shape for you. But we are going to select the part because we want to make a selection, an invisible selection, and parts are like invisible selection that you don't see. So they are just like a framework. You are not going to see the outcome, you are going to see the lines that you've drawn, but that's the invisible lines. So when you convert it into a selection, you're actually going to see those lines. That's how part works. So let's select our part over here, and after selecting our part, you make sure that you click auto add and delete, or this selection is enabled. And when you enable this selection, you don't have to use the add anchor points and delete anchor points and convert anchor points, because you can do all of these stuff when you select the auto add and delete. All right, so now we have all these settings enabled. So we are going to zoom this one a little bit, and we are going to drag it to the top. So we are going to make our first selection, and mind you, this is not the polygonal lasso tool. So we click to make our first selection, and then you click to make the second selection. And this is not a thread or a rope like the polygonal lasso tool. So you are going to make your anchor points, and you make a selection around your subject, just like how you use onto the polygonal lasso tool. And I'm going to speed this up. I'm just making the selection, so I'm going to speed this up. All right, so in case you make a mistake, let's say I'm making a selection around this side and I accidentally go this way. So what you are going to do now is you are going to click, or if you are going to hit on the Ctrl Z on your keyboard, then it's going to delete the points that you made, and it will take you back to where you think is convenient for you, or you think it's okay for you. Then you continue with your selection, just like the polygonal lasso tool. All right, so this is where we made our first selection, and now we are about to close the selection. So when you bring your cursor to the first selection that you just made, you are going to see a small circle beneath or below that cursor, indicating or telling you that the selection that you made is complete or is about to complete. So when you click on it, you are going to close or you are going to complete the selection. So let's click on it, and then we have our selection over here. So this is just like the polygonal lasso tool. So what we are going to do now is we are going to convert this part into a selection, and we are going to right click and we are going to select make selection. You can create vector mask, you can delete your part, you can create new guides from shape and a bunch of stuff. So we are going to make a selection. So we click on make selection, and we are okay with the settings over here. So we click on OK, and the part is going to transform or is going to change into a selection, just like the polygonal lasso tool. When you use the polygonal lasso tool, you are going to get something like this. When you close your selection, you are going to get something like this. So now you can go ahead and copy, you can go ahead and delete, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do with this subject. So we just add a layer mask, and it's going to get rid of the background, and now we have our subject over here with the background perfectly removed. So this is one feature of the pen tool. Now let's see how we can create shapes. We can create complex shapes with the pen tool. So let's head over to file, and we are going to go to open, and we are going to select our first shape. So we click on it and we click on open. So we have this shape over here. So we are going to recreate this same shape using the pen tool, and the purpose of this video is not to recreate shapes, but to teach you how to create these kind of shapes, or how to create complex shapes. So we are going to go over and we are going to unlock the layer over here, and we are going to recreate this same shape we see over here. So this video is going to teach us how to use the pen tool to create shapes, custom shapes and complex shapes that seem difficult to create using other tools in Photoshop, but with the help of the pen tool you will be able to create these shapes. So we are going to select the pen tool. You can click or you can hit P on your keyboard to select the pen tool, or you can go to the tool section and select it manually from there. So you click on the pen tool, and we are going to zoom in a little bit. So we are going to make our first point. So we click, and we are going to make our second point, our third point, and we are going to make a point, or we are going to make points around the shape or the star shape over here. So and now we are about to close the selection. So when you bring your cursor to this side, you see that we are going to have that same circle below the cursor or the pointer. So when you click on it, then you are going to complete your selection. And now what you must take note is that anytime you select the pen tool, and anytime you select the parts over here, you have to get the part section over here. So we have the layers, the history and the part. So when you click on the part, you are going to get the work part. So you see the star over here. So in case you don't have this section, so you see we have the layers and the history. So let's say you don't have this section, you only have the layers and the history. What you have to do is you go to the Windows side, and you are going to click, or you are going to look for parts, and you click on it, and you are going to get the parts over here. So you click, you drag, and you bring it to this side, and you can insert it over here so that you have your layer, your history and your part. All right, so you can go ahead and make a new part over here, and it's still going to create that new part alongside the old one. I mean, it's still going to be on the same part, unless you want to create a new part altogether. So as you can see, we have the second part that we just created over here alongside the star part, or the star shape. So let's go back. So if you want to create a new part, you just have to come to the down here and click on create new part. So it's going to create a second part over here, and you can go ahead and create your part. So you see that this part is different from the star part. So we have two separate parts. All right, so let's go ahead and delete this part. So you click, you drag, and you bring it to the delete button over here, and it's going to delete that part for you. So we have this layer 0, and we have the part. So as you can see, our part is hidden. We can't see the lines or the invisible part that we just drew. So if you want to bring back your part, you just have to select the pen tool over here, you zoom in. All right, so you zoom, you go to the part section, you click on it, and then you click on the control, or you click and hold control, and you click on the line over here to bring back your part. So you can go ahead and make adjustment or make changes to your part over here. Now when you click on the eye icon over here, it's going to hide the picture, and we are still going to see the part that we just made. So this is the part over here, and we can fill in this part with what? With a solid color. All right, so what we are going to do now is we are going to head over to the layers section, and we are going to go to the down here. We are going to click on this icon. We want to convert the part into a shape, or we want to fill this part with what? With a solid color, so that we can get what? The shape form of the star. So we are going to go to solid color. You can also select your gradient or pattern, but let's select the solid color over here, and as you can see, we have our shape over here. So you can go ahead and give this star shape any color that you want. So let's click on this one, or let's choose this one, and we click on OK. So now we have our star shape, and this shape is still a part, because when you click on the eye icon, we are going to get our original background, and we are going to get our color fill, that is the shape. So when you click on the color fill, you can drag it to the other side. You see that we have our shape, and then we have our original background over here. And when we head over to the parts section, we still have our work part over here, as you can see over here, and it's very simple. So this is how you can recreate shapes using the pen tool. All right, let's go to the next shape. So we click on file, and then we click on open, and we are going to select the next shape. So let's click on this one, and we click on open. And now this shape is not like the star shape. It seems that the star shape is very simple because it's just a bunch of straight lines, but when you look at this shape is curved. So how are we going to recreate this kind of shapes? So let's go over and unlock our layer, and we are going to zoom in a little bit. So pay attention and watch closely, because this is not like the star shape. So we are going to select the pen tool, and we are going to make our first selection. So we click on this one, and we make our first selection, and this time around we are going to click, you hold the mouse, and you are going to move your point so that you create a curved line around your subject. So we are going to click on it, and we are going to make a curved selection around our subject. So as you can see, so this is our first curve over here. Then you release the mouse, and you are going to create your second point. You click, you hold, and you make your second all right, so what you are going to do now is you are going to hold, or you are going to hit Alt on your keyboard. You click and hold Alt, and your mouse is going to change to this point. So you click on it and you are going to drag this one so that it can touch your subject over here. So you move on to the next selection over here. So you click and then you drag. Let's zoom in a little bit. So you are going to click and you are going to drag. So we are going to hit on Ctrl Z and going to get rid of this one. So just have to click. Ctrl Z again. So let's hold Alt on our keyboard and hold Alt, and then we are going to make our next selection. So we drag this one to the other side, then we make our next selection over here. So we are going to hold Alt on our keyboard and we click on this one. We are going to bring this one over here. So we tweak this one a little bit. So we are going to hold Ctrl on our keyboard and we are going to select this one and drag this one to the top, and we are going to drag this side and this side. So this point controls this side and this point controls this side. All right, so we have our selection. So let's move on to the next selection. So we click and drag to make a selection. Ctrl Z and Control, move this one, drag this one. All right. So as you can see, I'm making a selection around the subject. So you just have to take your time if this is your first time using the pen tool. So you just take your time and make sure that you have a perfect selection over here. So we hit Ctrl Z and we tweak this one a little bit. So you hold Alt on your keyboard and you drag this one to the other side. You make sure you reduce the size of this one and then you make your next selection over here. Alright, so you hold Ctrl on your keyboard and you drag this one. Alright, so we continue with our selection. So Ctrl Z and make sure you hold Alt, you reduce this one, and then you continue with your selection. And then finally we are about to close the selection. So when you bring your mouse to this side, you are going to get that same circle below the cursor. So you click to close your selection. So what we are going to do now is we are going to convert this selection or this part into a shape. So now we have the parts over here and we have the actual picture over here. So when you click on the eye icon, you are going to get the parts that you just made. So we head over to the down here, we click on it and we are going to select a solid color and we are going to fill this part with our solid color. So let's go ahead and select or pick a color for our half moon and then you click on OK. So as you can see, we have our half moon selection over here and this is very nice. All right, I think this is very perfect, right? So this is how you use the pen tool to recreate shapes, or shapes that seems very impossible or seems very difficult to create. So what we are going to do now is we are going to click on the eye icon over here. So we have our original picture and then we have the shape that we recreated. All right, so let's go ahead and create our last shape. So we click on file and then we click on open and we are going to select the next shape and we click on open. All right, so as usual, what you are going to do now is you are going to click on this lock icon over here and we are going to recreate this same shape. So of course we are going to select our pen tool and I'm going to speed this up. So let's make our first selection over here and then we are going to it's the same procedure. So you zoom in a little bit and all right, so you are going to hold the alt key over here and you are going to drag this one to the top and you are going to hold the control key over here so that you can move this one. Okay, you move this one and you are going to move this one and move this one too. All right, so we are going to tweak this one a little bit. So we hold the control over here and we are going to move this one. All right, so control, all right, so we are going to reduce the size of this one. So we hold alt on our keyboard and we are going to control Z. We hold alt on our keyboard and we are going to reduce the size of this one so that we can make way for our new selection over here. So All right, so we are going to close our selection over here. So we click on it and we are going to have this selection. So we head over to the path section and we have our work path over here. And when you click on the eye icon over here, it's going to hide the original picture and we are going to get our path selection. So we head over to the down here, click on it and you select your solid color and we are going to fill the part over here with solid color. So let's go ahead and pick a red color for our shape. Okay, so when you're done, you click on OK and now we have our selection over here. All right, so let's go ahead and click on the eye icon over here and we have our parts over here, our part selection, and then we have the original picture over here. So what we are going to do now is we are going to select the part. So we head over to the part section, we click on it and we are going to get these lines. So we are going to click on, or we are going to select the pen tool and we are going to hold Control. We are going to click on the line over here to bring back our part, and you can also add points to your selection. So let's say you want to add another point to this selection over here, you just bring your pen tool to the line over here and you are going to see a plus sign beneath or below the pen tool. So you just click on it and you are going to add another point to your points or to your selection. So you can just click on the Control over here and you can make changes to your selection and you can add as many points as you like over here. So you can just click over here and you are going to see the plus sign. You click on it and you are going to add another point to the side, and you can also delete points from your selection. So when you bring your cursor to this side, you see that you are going to get a minus sign below your cursor. It means that you want to delete this particular point. So you click on it and you are going to get rid of, or you are going to delete the point over here. So you bring your mouse or your cursor to this side, you are going to get the minus sign, and minus means subtract and plus means addition. You are adding, minus you are subtracting, or you are removing. So you click on it and it's going to get rid of the selection. So that is how you can add points and you can also delete points from your selection, and it's very simple. So you can use the pen tool to make a selection or to select your subject, and you can also use the pen tool to create shapes, custom shapes, and shapes that seems impossible to create. So if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit on the subscribe button, make sure to hit on the notification bell. In case I upload wonderful video like this one, you'll be the first person to get it. And if you have any questions, so make sure you leave your questions down in the comment section and I'll get right to it. I'll see you guys in my next video.